flipping played this
I
game.
know. I know.
I played this game and looked up that art while my roommate was right behind me.
Never. That would never happen with me in any case.
I would do it.
Maybe if it was like one of you people, yeah. But if it's just like a roommate, no.
Well,
Your roommates are assholes anyway.
we're close enough to where we could do that, Henry. I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm just gonna lay it out, you know. If I'm looking up naked anime chicks.
Don't say you're gonna lay it out next to me when you're looking up naked anime chicks.
Oh.
Hey, read it a line.
Oh, it's me. At least it's a change of scenery. I was wondering
Oh,
what
fudge.
just saw.
Oh, fudge.
I sighed.
Hey,
What?
that's me sighing.
It's 2 words, okay? I can cover it. I sighed.
I sighed.
I sighed.
The flashlight had almost died, and I had to shake it up every 10 seconds to slightly recover the battery.
That's how batteries work.
Exhausted, Masha dropped to the floor.
We can't stop. I'm sure there's an exit somewhere here.
How do you know?
I looked at her. She obviously had no energy anymore. Masha was struggling with her exhaustion and could lose consciousness any second.
I just know it.
In my loins. I smiled, trying
In my
to look
groin.
encouraging. Same thing.
Well, if so...
Kinda. She leaned against the wall and stood up hardly.
Sit here for now. I'll see what's further on.
I'm afraid.
Masha trembled.
I'm not going far.
She raised her eyes to me, full of hope, and nodded almost imperceptibly. Why would we leave her? That's the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
Later,
she's so gone.
Where's the
Yeah.
menu? Where's the menu?
And the melted button. Actually, I feel like it's a lot more clear now, because we're closer. Enhance that image.
What, the menu?
Yeah.
Alright, enhance the menu. I can't see what the deals are for this week.
I see the napkins. These are napkins. So this is definitely McDonald's. Oh, the wrap in the napkin and then...
Do you see the chicken tendies meal on that menu? I don't see it.
Yeah, it's over here. See this thing? It's a chicken tendy.
Oh. Oh, $5? That ain't that bad.
No, I mean, I've seen better.
I mean, how much for the large one?
I
$7.99?
think it's cut off.
$7.99? Oh.
Ah, yeah.
I just see the 6. I don't know what else goes after that.
I want the 8. I want the 8 piece.
I prefer the weird random faces. I like to eat those a lot.
What are they?
The smiley fries?
Yeah. Except they're red for some reason. Oh, no.
That's... Ah!
Huh? I'm not going far.
Uh,
I just need to reiterate, I'm not going far, okay?
hey, are you
Could be
still
over
here?
here.
Okay. I'm not going far, by the way.
You didn't get eaten, did you?
Oh, okay,
Never mind. I'm saying, forget that.
I'm not going far. I looked around and noticed a
Oh, yeah,
heavy
we're
iron
kinda-
door.
We're being chased by Ilyanas at the moment, right?
Who cares about them? My attempts to open it came to nothing. It was completely rusted shut. Ugh, I wish that pipe was here now. There was no other choice. I braced my leg on the wall and threw all my weight against the handle. My muscles bulged, my forehead was awash with sweat, my vision darkened. But the door didn't budge, just gave off a hollow rattle.
It's alright. Wait a second.
I shouted over to Masha, gasping for breath.
I need to find some kind of stick.
You already got one.
I ran over to Masha, bent down and smiled.
There's definitely an exit behind this door.
Huh.
She looked at me warily. I ran out of the room and began to scour the mine in search of something suitable. The flashlight was about to die, and having blinked its last, it finally went out. I panicked and began to blunder around trying to find the way back. However, I kept running into walls and couldn't remember at all how I got here.
Masha! Masha!
I screamed, hoping that she would hear me. Suddenly a sound came out from behind me. A light appeared and my shadow appeared on the ground, stretching far off into the darkness. I was rooted to the spot by fear. I heard a seemingly familiar voice.
What's wrong, Simeon? Got lost?
What the flip?
Oh.
I slowly turned around and saw Lena holding a flaming torch in her hand. Wonder what's wrong with her face. That doesn't look like Lena. Is that
Who are you?
Is that how her hair was? I
It's
guess
too low res, I can't tell.
I guess it was. I don't know. It just looks weird because it's not colored. So her face was disfigured by an inhuman grin.
I've come for you.
We are not doing your ending yet.
This was the same Lena that I saw at the square last evening. Really? The same as in Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. It doesn't look the same. She's got like weird things in her mouth here, like it's cut. That was Lena, and at the same time, not Lena. This creature was more like those Olyanas.
I'm coming for you. You. Who are you?
I squeezed out.
You, who are you?
I didn't want to do the second you. It's Lena, don't you recognize me?
I'll
She
recognize
burst
those
into
top
devilish
parts
laughter.
anyway.
I was gonna say that.
You completely forgot about me while having fun with them. I.
Words stuck in my throat.
It's alright. There's nobody left now, just the two of us. So you did everything? Bingo! Not everything, of course.
For a second, her face became guilty, but then she grinned again.
Hold on. I didn't realize this my time playing through this route. That was basically the equivalent of yes, but actually, no.
Yeah, a little bit.
Both yes and no to your question. Slavia was first. She was always so annoying. She was Miss Reliability, diligent, hard-working, always everywhere, agreeing with everyone. Yuck. Boy, did she scream when I was tearing off her arms, huh? It's a pity you didn't get to see it all.
Yeah, I'd like to see you tear anyone's arm off. Her mouth began to tremble, her saliva dripped out of it, and her eyes rolled up.
And then Eliza. Everybody is annoying me. I don't need anyone. Now she's hanging peacefully alone on a tree. However, it wasn't easy to lift her up there. But it had a much greater effect. How you all screamed, huh? Like pigs in a slaughterhouse.
Then his face was twisted by a grin of sick pleasure.
Alright, just that bitch Miku left to deal with, and then it's over.
Hey, she's nice. Oh, oh.
A machete, no.
She produced a giant cleaver covered with blood from behind her back.
Well, actually,
It seemed to me that she was lost in thought.
I don't know what that crap in the form of Oliana was. Her and the other pioneers weren't killed by me. But does it really matter now?
This just doesn't explain why there's a ton of Olyanas. Just
It
nobody
wasn't
cares.
me. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
I don't know how to clone people.
They're stealing all my kills. Whatever.
She shook the
Taking all my
torch and it
CS.
flared out in a second.
Wait here. I'll be quick.
Okay, cutie. Her devilish laughter came from behind me. That means she went after Masha. I must do something quickly. But I have absolutely no idea which way to run. The darkness completely disoriented me. Ah, screw it. I ran the way I assumed Lena went. After only a short way, I painfully smashed into a wall. I turned around trying to move slowly, but I stumbled over another obstacle, fell down, and screamed in pain. Trying to rise, I realized that I couldn't put any weight on my left leg. Seems like I twisted it. I tried to crawl, but it worked out badly. The whole mine floor was covered with sharp stones, rusty rails, and broken boards.
Semyon. Not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need.
I don't know if he's a
I think
hero
it's
at
the
all.
other. I think it's the other way around.
After only a short way, my arms were torn to bleeding pieces of meat, and my eyes couldn't be opened because of the dust and sand. I fumbled in my pockets and pulled out the matchbox. Tried to light a match with my shaking hands, but couldn't get them to light.
Calm down. Calm down.
I muttered. At last, after the fifth try, the mine was lighted by a dim light. I quickly oriented myself and worked out which way I have to run. It seemed to me that only a few seconds passed before I found myself in the room where I'd left Masha. The last match went out, but I had just enough time to see Lena raising her cleaver above Masha. I rushed towards them, screaming, and dived instead of dove forward. My hands suddenly collided with something. I fell to the ground and began smashing everything around me. Most of my punches didn't hit the mark, but then my hands met something soft. I heard a moan, and dead silence set in.
He killed Miku. Or Masha, I mean.
I rolled onto my back and started breathing heavily. inhaling the dry air greedily.
Masha,
I called. I heard quiet sobs.
are you still alive?
Yes.
She whispered.
Did she get you?
No.
I began to fumble in the darkness and soon found a torch and a lighter. Shapeless shadows began to dance on the walls, and I saw Lena's body sprawled on the floor. She seemed to be alive. That was gonna finish her.
No.
Masha crawled right over to me and grabbed my leg.
But we can't just...
You don't need to.
Of course Lena wasn't to blame for everything, but she's the devil incarnate. There's no way we can let a human like her, if she can even be called one, live. But when I looked at Masha, I realized that I can't. I took up the cleaver from the floor, and twisting it in my hands, I decided that it would make a perfect crowbar. Going over to the door, I jammed it into the wheel and pulled on it as hard as I could. The door creaked and opened. Fresh air streamed into the room.
We're saved.
I returned to Masha, helped her get up, and we left the room, leaving Lena lying unconscious. Beyond the door, there was a short corridor with a ladder at the end of it, which led up to a grating. I climbed up and pulled on it with all my strength. The grating fell down with a crash, and we climbed out. I fell to the grass exhausted and looked around. Again this square, again this camp. The bright red dawn was breaking in the east, burning the tops of a distant forest. The last stars winked at me, unaware of everything that had happened here in this hell. Masha rested her head on my shoulder and pointed up into the sky with a trembling hand. See, look at her. We haven't seen that one yet.
I wish we were there.
Though we got out of dungeon, nothing is over. Crowds of zombie Ilyanas are wandering through the camp, and insane Lena is lying underneath, and heaven knows how much more devilry we'll encounter here.
I really want to sleep.
I didn't know how to answer her, because I don't know where to run. I don't know where we can be safe. Don't know how to return to our world.
Sleep.
I patted Masha's head.
Listen, this would make a great script for a film.
She LOL'd. I looked at her in horror. Masha was smiling, but her smile wasn't diabolical like that one of Lena's. It was pure, honest, maybe even childish. All her exhaustion had gone away, and her eyes were shining with a cheerful spark.
What happened to you?
I could hardly speak.
Everything is fine.
She lay down on my shoulder again.
That was the last scene.
Oh my god.
Suddenly, I felt my strength leaving me. My vision darkened. My consciousness began to float away somewhere. I was lying in silence, and only the sound of Masha's breath could be heard. Not the grasshoppers chirping, like all of them had died at last, but only Masha's steady breathing, and her smile. Is that... oh. Okay.
Good.
Is that? Do I get an award? Nope. I struggled to open my eyes. Bright moonlight reflected on the water, cheerfully skipping on the waves. A light night breeze was blowing, and somewhere far away an owl was hooting. I looked at Masha who peacefully slept nearby, covered by my shirt. What a dream. My mobile phone dimly showed the time. 3 a.m. We'd better go to bed, or tomorrow Uncle Dmitrievna will make us. I just decided to wake Masha up, but I suddenly noticed an open script and a pen next to her. I quickly ran through several pages and was horrified. It was completely identical to what I had just dreamt. Bile rose in my throat and my eyes darkened. Masha rolled over, opened her eyes, and looked at me.
You awake?
Did you write this?
I asked, thick-tongued.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I didn't know how to answer. I just couldn't understand what was going on.
You were sleeping so cutely that I didn't want to wake you, and the grasshoppers were chirping so loudly, so I...
She smiled.
Wait, but we're here now? I mean, we're not pioneers, we're filming here and all that kind of stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are.
Masha looked at me uncomprehendingly. Maybe I woke up, read what she wrote, and then fell asleep again?
You're drenched with sweat.
She fumbled in the pockets of the pioneer uniform lying next to her and gave me a handkerchief. A typical Russian handkerchief embroidered with colorful flowers. I took it and suddenly felt a surge of warmth. The same warmth you feel when someone dear to your heart gives you a present.
Shall we go?
Masha started to get dressed.
Yeah, let's go.
So what you're saying is that we linked, you know, and then when we linked, she got the ideas of our dreams, and then she wrote it.
But she didn't. They linked, but she didn't experience it the same way we did, I guess.
Well, she experienced it through writing. So once we linked, we gave her the ideas, and she didn't sleep, so she wrote them. It was already in our brain, and then we lived it in our dream.
Hmm.
I like the idea of linking with
What a
Masha.
weird universe.
Sorry. I barely stood up and went down to the river. Cold water revived me, and that dream stopped seeming so real. After all, it was just a dream, wasn't it? On our way back, Masha held my hand and chatted about everything non-stop. We came to the square.
I hope those creatures will let me sleep at least tonight.
She said thoughtfully.
Who?
The grasshoppers.
Ah, yeah, that would be great.
Well, I'll go.
She looked at me keenly, turned around and was about to leave.
Wait.
Aww.
Uh.
Aww. I grabbed her hand, pulled her towards me, and kissed her hard. Because sometimes a dream is just a dream, and reality
Unless
is
it's
reality.
not.
I do love the everlasting.
I picked a
Dana
good time to
spot
go
right now.
high res.
How
It's like true love's
coy.
kiss.
Yay, what is this? I don't even.
That sums up the entire ending for
Miku.
Miku.
Oh.
Yeah, this is how every ending is, so you can skip this.
Well, every story has its beginning and its end. Hi, Miku. Ugu. Ugu Miku. That was a good ending. I mean, like,
It was something, I guess.
I mean, it was obvious that it wasn't real, but, like, it was fantastic. I liked it. Hey, stop looking at me like that.
Oh, I remember those days.
Hey, put that away, lady. I liked it. I like that ending. It was adorable, honestly. It was an adorable ending.
I just don't really get the linking and the dream stuff.
Me
like,
linking was my version of them having sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they did the nasty, and then they both had the idea of zombie.
Yeah, when
Oleanas
Semyon's
and
massive Peenor shot the thing that you shoot out as a man, it went
they
in.
linked
Yeah, it
brains.
linked, and then there's her weird stomach. And then, yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
See, it's low res and all, but Semyon's like chest looks fine. You know?
Yeah.
Didn't have those weird lines or whatever.
Oh, it's showing all the various sprites. I think that's what they're called. Ugu Miku.
Applause. Aww.
Aww. I like that one. I like that it ended like that. That's probably my favorite route so far.
Out of the what, 2?
Shut your mouth, kid.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like that it went to a horror thing
Yeah, it was pretty
for
sweet.
seemingly no reason, but it just kind of happened anyway.
Yeah.
Like the first thing, it was like, you know, it's like pioneers and all that,
Mhm.
and then it's like suddenly, oh, we're actually filming a movie, right?
Yeah.
And then it does it again where it's,
We're
oh, we are
pioneers.
pioneers, but now it's all spooky scary.
Yeah, now it's, oh look, a dead body.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look, a
Yeah, I
mangled
think-
corpse.
People hanging themselves,
I-
or
I-
not? They're not hanging themselves. She got hanged.
I think Henry had like 3 moments where he's like, oh heck yeah. There was the first time it was like, oh yeah, we're shooting a movie. He's like, oh, this is interesting. This is kind of. Then when they all like started acting like pioneers, but Semyon and Masha weren't like in that group.
Well,
he's like,
I went
"Oh,
like I thought that Masha was
yeah,
gonna
but
turn
you're-
back into Miku, and that was
I
got
did
what
too.
got me hyped.
I did too.
Because I
Yeah.
thought it'd be like, Niani, what are you doing in my bed, senpai? Ooh.
Nice Peenor.
And then there was when Slavia died. That he was like, oh yeah, this ending's insane.
It's so different. I mean, I'm sure Lena Bad ending is similar, but honestly, dude,
That'd be pretty funny.
it's gonna be the spoopiest.
Mm.
I like
I don't
that
know what to expect now.
they couldn't explain the They couldn't explain why they just had a bunch of Oleanas chirping like grasshoppers, so they just kind of had Lena say, "Yeah, I don't know."
Oh, was that what it was? They were the grasshoppers?
Yeah, they were making a chirping grasshopper noise.
Oh, okay. That's probably gonna get explained in a different thing, right?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe the Oleana bad.
Yeah, she just
One of
turns into
them's like
a zombie.
human looking, and then when you piss her off, she just summons the horde,
That was just she turns
and they
into a
eat you,
grasshopper.
and then you die.
Nah, she's just a human grasshopper.
Oh.
She just turns into a giant praying
feel like-
mantis.
I feel
Well,
like
I'll
how
be darned.
grasshoppers were just a giant, like, focus of that part.
Yeah.
But the reason for it is actually kind of interesting. In Japanese culture, grasshoppers are the animal symbol for music, and Miku was the only member of the music club.
Flippin' weeb.